My dear friends, today we are going to visit the enormous apple farms that are located in the United States of America. Our goal is to gain an understanding of the procedure that is used to cultivate and harvest billions of apples every year. The state of Washington is the primary location for apple cultivation in the United States. The varieties of apples that are considered to be the best include Red Delicious, Granny Smith, Golden Delicious, and Fuji. What's going on at a seedling farm in Washington is described in this article. Apple tree trunks belonging to thousands of trees are prepared by farmers for the nursery procedure. This location will thereafter be responsible for the planting and maintenance of these apple trees for a period of 2 months until they are moved to the official farms. At this incubator, approximately 400 professionals come to work in various stages throughout the course of each year. Expats from Mexico and Venezuela make up the majority of these individuals. These farm laborers put in a lot of effort, despite the fact that the weather is rather hot and dusty. Approximately $90 is the daily average income that they receive. The relocation of millions of apple trees to new farms and the beginning of a new life will take place approximately 2 months from now. There will be around 670 apple trees planted per acre on this farm, and there will be a space of 1.20 meters between each tree. At the moment, the state of Washington is home to approximately 1,460 apple farms. 100 acres is the minimum acreage that is required for apple farms in this area. On the other hand, there are a few farms that cover more than 5,000 acres. Over the course of 3 to 4 years, the majority of apple types that are cultivated in Washington today reach their first harvest. There are a number of states in the United States that produce a significant amount of apples, including New York, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, in addition to Washington. In the year 2021, the Department of Agriculture of the United States of America estimates that there are 177,000 acres of farmland in the state of Washington that are utilized for the cultivation of apples. The amount of land used for growing apples in New York is approximately 53,000 acres, while the amount in Pennsylvania is only 21,000 acres. In the state of Washington, the Wenatchee, Lake Chelan, and Yakima Valley regions are the most prominent apple-growing regions. To be more specific, the Yakima Valley region alone is home to more than 57,000 acres of land that is dedicated to the cultivation of apples. These are apple trees that have been around for more than a year. At this stage, the primary responsibilities of the farmer are to prune, remove weeds, and ensure that there is sufficient water for the plants to flourish. Following the arrival of winter, this location will be staffed with thousands of people to prune apple trees. One of the most crucial jobs that orchards have to offer is this one. As the process of budding occurs, winter pruning helps to maintain the regular shape of the apple trees and ensures that not a single part of the tree is deprived of light. When young shoots first develop in the early spring, a probiotic will be sprayed on them to protect them from being attacked by insects and aphids from the beginning of the spring season. Honeybee suppliers will be contracted to bring the bees here to participate in the pollination process after the flowers have appeared. The information that we have gathered indicates that the price that these ranchers will pay for each of these crates of bees will range anywhere from $65 to $120. According to estimates, throughout the flowering season, around 14,000 bees are required to work on each acre of apple property. Approximately 145 days pass between the time of pollination and the harvesting of apples. There is a high risk of rot occurring in apples while they are being transported or stored. As a result, the apple fields in this area will be sprayed with a probiotic that helps prevent middle rot 2 weeks prior to the harvesting of the apples. Every single thing in this location is prepared to begin a new harvest season. Would you be interested in going to one of these apple farms and picking the apples directly from the trees? During the middle of August of each year, hundreds of laborers travel to the lush farmland of Washington in order to hand-pick apples. It is estimated that the majority of them are immigrants from Guatemala, Venezuela, and Mexico. The vast majority of people who work on farms in the United States are those who are here illegally. They are seeking for ways to enter the United States of America and get employment at the same time. During the height of their operations, apple farms in the state of Washington employ more than 40,000 people to harvest apples. These laborers will pick millions of apples and fill these containers with apples, and they will receive between $45 and $55 for each crate that is filled with apples. Statistics indicate that the amount of apples harvested in the state of Washington in the year 2021 was approximately more than 3 million tons. A total of around 297,000 tons was found in Pennsylvania, whereas the amount of 621,000 tons was found in New York. There are around 11.30 billion to 12 billion apples that are harvested year across the United States, as stated by the estimations provided by the United States Department of Agriculture. In recent years, China has consistently been the largest apple producer in the world, with over 43 million tons of apples being produced. The European Union followed closely behind, with over 11 million tons of apples, and the United States of America came in third, with over 4 million tons of apples produced. Following the harvesting process, billions of apples will be brought to the plant for the purpose of being packaged or to be processed into juice. What is going on at a packing plant for apples in the state of Washington is revealed here. These apples will be washed and disinfected before they are wrapped up for shipment. At the moment, approximately 25.90% of fresh apples produced in the United States are shipped to other nations. It is common practice for apples from the United States to be sent to countries in Asia and the Middle East. In my view, large-scale apple farming in the United States represents both a triumph of agricultural efficiency and a mirror reflecting deeper socioeconomic and environmental complexities. On one hand, the industry's ability to produce billions of apples annually through highly organized planting, pruning, pollination, and harvesting processes demonstrates the remarkable coordination of labor, technology, and biological science. However, the human cost embedded in this system cannot be overlooked. The industry relies heavily on migrant labor, much of it undocumented, working long hours in physically demanding and sometimes hazardous conditions for modest pay. This raises pressing ethical questions about labor rights, immigration policy, and the fair distribution of the economic value generated by such farms. Beyond the labor dimension, large-scale monoculture apple production also presents environmental concerns. Planting thousands of trees in concentrated areas increases vulnerability to pests and diseases, often leading to heavy reliance on chemical treatments. While probiotics and pollinator rentals show a move toward more natural methods, there remains a significant opportunity for the industry to adopt more regenerative practices, such as diversified planting, integrated pest management, and soil health restoration to reduce ecological risks and enhance long-term sustainability. From my perspective, the path forward requires a multi-layered approach. Policymakers should ensure that farm workers, regardless of immigration status, have access to fair wages, safe working conditions, and legal protections. Simultaneously, agricultural research should focus on developing disease-resistant apple varieties and expanding sustainable farming techniques that minimize chemical inputs. The industry could also benefit from investing in more advanced cold storage and transportation technologies to reduce post-harvest waste, which remains a substantial issue given apples' susceptibility to rot. In the broader sense, apple farming is not just about producing fruit. It is about cultivating an ethical, sustainable system where economic productivity, environmental stewardship, and human dignity coexist. The U.S. apple industry is already a global leader in output and efficiency. With intentional reforms and innovation, it could also become a global model for fairness and ecological responsibility. That, in my opinion, would be the sweetest harvest of all. These are the steps involved in the manufacture of apple juice. When was the last time you drank apple juice? Please share your thoughts with us regarding this beverage.